Hello, and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News channel. We're going to talk about Cardano, and Charles Hoskinson has actually reached out to Jack Dorsey to solve Twitter's security problems with verified tweets. Now, it is a little complicated, and it does involve some old technology and some new technology, so let's actually take a look at it. We all know that Twitter got massively hacked, and many high-profile accounts were actually hijacked. These include many political figures and important people like Elon Musk and Bill Gates. So obviously this loses Twitter a lot of confidence, and it's probably going to involve maybe some lawsuits and damages, and obviously Twitter does not want this to happen again. So as an added layer of security, Charles Hoskinson said that public key cryptography can be used to solve Twitter's identity verification problems. The article I'm drawing from this is Crypto Slate. The concept of verified tweets would be easy to implement, and Charles Hoskinson actually said, like, you could use any blockchain, but if you use Cardano, we can actually give you a demo in as little as 6 weeks, so they're rearing to go. Obviously, if Twitter adopted Cardano, that would massively drive up the use case, as millions of people each day do actually use Twitter. So they could actually build this model for Twitter at cost, and like I said, a working demo could be in 6 weeks if Jack Dorsey is interested in it. And he actually reached out to Jack Dorsey. Dorsey was probably like, whatever. But he actually should consider either adopting something like this or building something like this himself. So like, after suffering the biggest hack in its history last week, Twitter has been faced with a serious problem. Not only did the social media giant see its security shield penetrated, but it also saw the very foundation upon which it based its business model turned upside down. Introducing another security layer won't be enough to guarantee that another hack like this won't happen when the problem lies in the way the platform deals with verified users. There is, however, a simple solution to this, and it lies in a 50-year-old cryptography model. So Charles Hoskinson, the CEO of IOHK, he addressed this issue in a recent YouTube video, and he said that public key cryptography, a concept developed back in the 1970s, would be the quickest and easiest way to solve Twitter's authentication problem. So that's the old technology part. They're going to draw off a couple of basic principles, and they're going to have to design something that can actually function on a system as large and complex as Twitter. The solution can't really make any radical changes to the platform, although like it does change a little bit once you actually hear about it. Secondly, it needs to be simple and easy to understand for the end user. And it's also necessary to build it on solid foundations that will guarantee security and longevity. Changing the business model of the company is out of the question. Obviously, you can't really remake Twitter, but making the solution cheap and easy to maintain is a must. And he actually says that these things aren't unrealistic. The model is based on a very simple foundation, but they do have to make some unique modifications for Twitter. So basically, like, it's going to be a signature. The process of signing a message with a special mathematical function using the private key, and that's how they actually authenticate things. This creates a signed message that anyone can verify through signer's public key, as checking the private against the public key would show whether the authenticity of the signer is true or false. So here's one thing though, like a lot of these high profile guys, sometimes they don't actually manage their own Twitter, and they actually have other people manage their Twitter. So would those other people also have access to their signature? Because that could actually create many of the same issues. The model will actually be based on a concept called DIDs. That was developed by W3, and they're called decentralized identifiers. They consist of two parts: the DID ID, a small identifier of letters, and a DID document, which is basically an HTML file with a structured set of information about the DID. Any type of information can be added to the DID document, which includes public and private keys, so you can check them against each other. While none of this is considered to be either new or revolutionary, the way these two concepts can be applied to Twitter makes them rather unique, because Twitter is a unique ecosystem. So instead of relying on only the blue check marks of proof of someone's identity, the platform could add an extra layer of security by providing proof that a particular tweet's been properly authenticated. So I don't really know how that will actually work, or how that will work in the real world for Twitter. And the article doesn't do a great job, because I still think it leaves some people wondering, well, does that mean you need an extra third party to verify your tweets? Because that means you might actually have to wait until someone else verifies your tweets, so you can't get your tweets out in time. And that would annoy someone like Donald Trump, obviously. This can be done by introducing DIDs, both as a separate step at the account creation process and by allowing existing users to import their own DIDs. All the DID registered with Twitter would then go out to a whitelist ID verifier. So Hoskinson said the verifier can be anyone from VeriSign to a government entity. So like if you actually, for like high value Twitter accounts, I suppose like it could be VeriSign or a government entity, but how would they know that the tweet's coming from the right person and to actually verify it? Because if like if an account gets hacked and if they do social engineering, do they actually get the signature? Because like I feel like if these people actually hire other people to manage the Twitter, those other people would actually have to have like all this information. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to make tweets in time. So it's a little bit, I think to me, it's a little strange how this completely works or doesn't. User DIDs would then be embedded in one or more blockchains, Hodgson said. Hodgson said that adding the same data to Cardano, Bitcoin, and Ethereum would be redundant, or 3 blockchains, but it's something that Twitter might see as an extra layer of security. Nonetheless, embedding DIDs to a blockchain would provide them with 3 very important properties: timestamping, auditability, and immutability. So when it comes to the economics of such a model, he explained that it would be easy to implement a small fee at the account creation process that would cover the cost of the verifier. So that's really not something they actually have to worry about. However, if Twitter users had to pay any fee to actually sign up, I think that would be a problem for some Twitter users. So basically, the real world implications of this model. So he believes that having the assurance that a tweet has truly been written by a specific person is invaluable. That part I can agree with. With a single tweet having the ability to move the stock market or siphon millions of dollars in a scam, authenticity becomes the most valuable currency. That's true. There are numerous ways this blockchain-based authenticity system can be applied. In the light of the latest scam that targeted some of the most high-profile accounts on the platform, including Donald Trump, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Twitter could easily introduce special policies for high-value users like them, or having like third-party verifiers. But like I said, for someone like Donald Trump, that might just piss him off that he can't just tweet everything right away, that he actually has to have a third-party verifier. I'm not really sure how that would play with Twitter users. I think this would only be really good for high profile, because I don't think you could high profile accounts, because I don't think you can do that to everyone. And the thing is, like, I guess social engineering, they would only go after high profile accounts because it wouldn't really make economic sense for the hackers to go after everyone. So this is an interesting proposal. I'm not completely sure the whole mechanics of it, because it does involve third-party verifiers, private signatures, and I'm not really sure how that would work if you actually hired someone else to take care of your Twitter account, how any of that would actually work. Would they have an extra step in verification that actually like can't be gamed or something? Would social engineering not work? There's a lot of questions to be answered, but it is an interesting proposal, and I would actually like to see what the demo looks like if they actually go forward with this. So that is the news for today. Let me know what you think, like and subscribe, and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you, and have a nice day.